I had this fun project idea where I was going to make a belt out of watches, but it turned out to be a waste of time. What's going on, YouTube? We are inside of the Infinite Archive, inside of Apocrypha, to go over our favorite new Tuesday vendor, the only Tuesday vendor. Now, some of you guys say that his name is Filer. Truthfully, I mean, how can we ever be certain? I know some of you guys put in the comments that they say his name, but I don't play with game chat on, so there's really no way to verify these name claims. And the first items that we're going to go over are these handy-dandy leads that can get you some really good items. Now, the first one is a bit of a weird one because it actually gives you a mount. We've talked about this mount before. It's a Dwarven Ebon mount. Now, this specific lead just becomes from Stonefalls, and you get it actually from Delve bosses, so I don't necessarily think that's worth the 5,000 smackaroonies. However, the Searing Gem might actually be a little bit worthwhile. So this bad boy is one of the 5 pieces of the Marken Ring, which is probably one of the best mythics in the game. I would firmly put it in the top 6. And the reason why I love it so much is it adds a lot of set crafting ideas, but this isn't a video about that. Why this lead is so helpful is because you have to kill dead rats to get this lead, and that can take you hours. So if you wanted to just run an infinite archive and get, through 1 or 2 arenas, you would easily be able to purchase this and not have to kill any dead rats. And that might make it significantly worth your time if you're looking at kind of like a time to achieve type mentality, which is generally what I try to, do whenever I'm playing a game. Like, how long if I was to get it this way versus how long if I was able to get it this way. Next up, we have Lambrous Shoulder, which the test to know if this is a good deal for you is actually, do you like it? 15,000 archival fortunes here. Do you like the shoulder? I've already gotten it, but not because I purchased it, because it's a pretty common one to have. I don't necessarily think that this one's worth it. These are not resellable, so basically, you could purchase this with your own gold. It's probably going to be 100 to 200,000 gold. It's a pretty cheap one. But you could also buy it with archival fortunes if you were interested. I generally would recommend saving that amount because that's a lot, and I would not purchase it for this specific one, but a week might be better. Hughes Bane is an interesting treasure map, and I would normally say this might be worth the gamble. However, we just had an event that was through Hughes Bane, so all of the set pieces that would be profitable for you to do are up on the open market. So it's hard to say, hey guys, go out and get these archival treasure maps, to Hughes Bane. The problem is that everyone and their mom just spent a long time in Hughes Bane, and they're probably not going to be able to profit off any of the items there. With the release of 2 new companions this year, companion equipment might be a worthy gamble for you, but I will warn you that companion gear, specifically the weapons, is the biggest of gambles, because generally, if you get the right trait on a piece of armor, but you got the right quality of light, medium, or heavy, you might still wear it. If you get the wrong weapon with the wrong trait and you can't resell it, it's worthless. But if you get the right piece with the right trait on it, it could be worth a lot of gold. Here's the problem. You have to use it on yourself. This is bind on pickup. You can't give it to anybody else. But that doesn't mean that you aren't subverting having to pay millions of gold if you get the pieces that you want. So it's a really big toss-up. It's going to come down to you as an individual player on whether or not you want to gamble on companion equipment. And I think a lot of it might come down to just, do you have a companion that you want to use? Because if you're planning to utilize all of the companions for DPS, a healer, and a tank, this is probably a worthy gamble, because generally you're going to be happy with whatever you get. But if you only plan to make a healer, you only plan to make a tank, you only plan to make a DPS, probably not worth the gamble. But weapons are generally the most expensive to purchase, so you are subverting having to potentially pay millions. No, you're not going to buy the fragment for this deck. If you wanted it, you just have to get Volcano Vents in High Isle and Galen. No, you're not buying this. I also have not gotten these books yet. I know that there are people who want me to make a video on books. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. But yes, you could buy these. I generally don't suggest it because, in my opinion, the books that you get from here, they are neat to read. But if you're looking for aesthetic books, you can already get them through the Mages Guild significantly easier. Next up, we have fragments. Now, this fragment actually comes from the Infinite Archive itself, and if you collect 25 of these bad boys, you would get a Skeever pet. Not worth it, in my opinion. 7,000's a lot. I'd skip this. And if you're already farming the Infinite Archive, you're going to pick it up anyway. Next up, we have a really cool item because it gives you a really cool door. Now, you have to get 50 of these bad boys, and it gives you the Zenthar Auditorium Gate. Now, is it worth 4,000 archival fortunes? Probably not. But that doesn't mean I can't use this to highlight this cool item. So if you were to go into the public dungeon inside of Blackwood, the Zenthar's Abbey, you can actually get these just by killing the stuff in there. So you can actually get these, buy these, sell these, trade these, combine them together, and bada bing, bada boom, you will actually get them. So this is a really cool item that I can encourage you guys to do. But I would not encourage you to buy for 4,000 archival fortunes, because 4,000, you got to remember, that's almost a full golden lead that you can avoid doing. So that's hours of your life saved, potentially. I don't necessarily think it's worth hours of your life when you could be getting this within 5 minutes. But everyone, let me know in the comments below what item interested you the most in this week. For me, it's definitely, if I did not have the Marken Ring already, and I did not know how terrible it was to get dead rats, I would have skipped the dead rats. Killing little tiny things in the overworld where there's like 10 of them, it feels like, on the entirety of the map at one point is terrible to have to be able to do. Being able to skip that is just so nice. So let me know in the comments what you guys would get. We are still doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We are so close. We passed 19,000, which is crazy, especially when the fact the channel is like 3 years old. It's a great milestone to hit. I have nothing but the thanks to you guys for being able to do that. Second thing is just by leaving a comment on the video, answering the Family Feud question. It'll be in the post outro. And the third thing is a random gift card code will be flashed upon the screen. This week it was put on one of the videos already, so stay tuned next month for that one. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
There's not a Family Feud question per se. I do have one of those, so you can answer both one of these questions, and you'll be entered when I pick my comment for the month. So the first comment, or the first question is, what video should I make next? There's so many directions that my brain has been pulled. Like I feel like I get started on one thing, and then I get pulled another direction, and then I just find myself doing these routine videos like vendors. But that's great because it gives me an opportunity to talk to you guys. Like, I've even been distracted by other games like Pal World and Ark, and then I'm like, should I make a couple videos on these? Would people be interested in that? You know, for example, on our Ark Survival World, we had to wipe off an OnlyFans model. I thought that could be a really funny story to go over, like the story of how we wiped an OnlyFans model off of our Ark server. So, and then I thought Pal World could be interesting. A lot of you guys said that you played Pal World. And then I thought there's so many good ESO videos though too. We've got this whole big year, 2024. We've got the next ESO events. We've got our February guide. We're going to have new stuff coming out, you know, so there's just so many things. I've been thinking too about maybe like a lot of you guys have said like 1-bar builds, you know, can I do like a quick video on 1-bar builds, heavy attack builds, stuff like that. Open to all of it, but you know, just let me know what kind of interests you the most. That way I know like what kind of direction you guys are heading. For the ESO actual Family Feud question is a bit of a doozy. What is your least favorite feature in ESO? So let me know in the comments below. Thank you, and I love you guys. Bye, guys.